Hawaii looks like paradise, but for guns, it's anything but. Buy one, you wait. Carry one, more training, more paperwork, more bans. Every step is another hoop, meant to wear you down. In this video, I'll show you what it takes to own and carry a firearm in Hawaii, how the Supreme Court forced change, and why the spirit of aloha now feels like the spirit of control. Stick around, this fight could be your future too. Chapter 1. Owning a gun in Hawaii. Let's break down the basics. In Hawaii, gun ownership begins with securing a permit to acquire. You cannot legally take possession of any firearm without it. Here's how it works. You must be a Hawaii resident and you must apply in person at the police or firearms unit in your county. You must be 21 years of age or older to apply for any firearm permit. You must present valid ID, proof of residency, and complete a firearm safety training course, or proof thereof. We go over the requirements in the next chapter, so stick around. Non-residents can technically apply for a carry license, but that's more if you're bringing a firearm for hunting or competing, or you have a written invitation to shoot on someone's private land. Once your application is accepted, permits cannot be issued before 14 calendar days have passed, and the issuing authority must either issue the permit or deny it by day 40. Now handguns, that's pistol and revolvers. Permits require a separate application for each handgun. These permits expire 30 days after issuance if not used. Rifle and shotgun permits, those are long guns, are valid for 1 year, and during that year you may purchase multiple rifles and shotguns under that same permit, subject to eligibility and revocation. For all transfers, dealer sales, gifts, inheritance, private sales, the same permit to acquire process must be completed before possession. After acquiring a firearm, you must register it with the police within 5 calendar days of purchase or arrival in state. If you are moving to Hawaii with a firearm, you must also register it within 5 days. The number of guns you can buy depends on the type. A rifle or shotgun permit is valid for 1 year and allows you to purchase multiple long guns during that time, as long as you remain eligible. Handguns are different. You must apply for a new permit for each pistol or revolver you want, and each handgun permit expires 30 days after it's issued. Every firearm, whether long gun or handgun, must be registered within 5 days of acquisition, and the police chief can revoke permits if you become disqualified. There's ammunition rules too, guys. Retailers must check ID, and sales to anyone under 21 are prohibited under state law. Oh, and wait until you hear about all the hours of classes that you have to take. Chapter 2. The right to carry or not in Hawaii. For decades, Hawaii was a no-issue state for carrying firearms in public. This system was destroyed in 2022 by the U.S. Supreme Court's Bruin decision, which affirmed the Second Amendment right to carry a handgun outside the home for self-defense. Now, as a result, Hawaii's restrictive may-issue carry laws are now illegal, and the state has been forced to become a shall-issue jurisdiction for concealed carry licenses. If you meet the objective criteria, like passing a background check, completing training, and being 21 or older, the police must issue you a concealed carry permit. This is the biggest change to gun law in Hawaii's history. Training requirements are strict. In Hawaii, the type of training you need depends on what you're buying. If you want a handgun, you must complete a handgun-specific safety course approved by the state or taught by an NRA certified instructor. The law wants you to do at least 4 hours in a classroom and 2 hours live fire drilling. A hunter education card alone won't cut it unless the course included handgun training. For rifles and shotguns, a standard hunter education certificate is enough, though you can also use a handgun course if that's what you've completed. A Hawaii hunter education certificate is generally 12 hours of instruction when taught in person. That's spread out over 2 or 3 days. If taken online, the course time is about 3 to 4 hours, self-paced, to complete the online modules. And if you're applying for a concealed carry license under Act 52, the bar is even higher. The law now mandates at least 4 more hours of classroom instruction plus 2 more hours of live fire training. So that makes 8 hours in class and 4 doing live fire. However, the state legislature didn't take this lying down. We're going to go over Hawaii's future legal challenges. But first, here are even more restrictions and legal minefields for you to cross, so listen up. Chapter 3. Hawaii Gun Restrictions. In 2023, the state enacted Act 52, a comprehensive legislative package designed to severely restrict where a newly licensed citizen can carry a firearm. Act 52 bans firearms from a massive list of sensitive places. These include, but are not limited to, public beaches, public parks, bars and restaurants that serve alcohol, financial institutions, government buildings, and public transportation. While many of these are currently legal, the constitutionality of some is still being challenged in court. The private property trap. This is the most unique and confusing new rule. Under Act 52, you are prohibited from carrying a firearm on any private property, which is including all businesses, stores, and parking lots, unless the property owner gives express authorization, often through a clearly displayed sign. This effectively flips the standard common law rule and makes most of the island off limits unless specifically permitted. Hawaii law also requires that if a gun owner reasonably knows a minor that's under 16 in this case may gain access to a firearm, it must be stored in a securely locked box or container. Failure to do so, resulting in a minor obtaining the gun, is a misdemeanor crime called criminally negligent storage of a firearm. Now for vehicles, Act 52 also added specific rules. If you leave a gun in an unattended vehicle, it must be securely locked in a safe storage depository, which means a dedicated safe or tamper-resistant container. A vehicle's locked glove box or trunk by itself is not sufficient under the law. Chapter 4. Hawaii Firearm and Magazine Bans. Hawaii's current laws include a permanent ban on what the state defines as quote-unquote assault pistols. This has been in place since 1992. Furthermore, the law explicitly prohibits the manufacture, possession, sale, or transfer of detachable ammunition magazines with a capacity in excess of 10 rounds that are designed for or capable of use with handguns. The insane penalty for the handgun magazines ban is where the law becomes a legal trap and revenue stream for the state. Simple possession of a prohibited pistol magazine, example if it's stored in a box or something, is a misdemeanor, with the maximum punishment of 1 year in jail, all the way down to fines and probation. Now, if that magazine is inserted into a handgun when found, the charge is automatically elevated to a Class C felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison, plus fines and probation afterwards, etc. Hawaii does not have a general rifle mag ban, but if the rifle magazine is capable of use in a handgun, then the 10-round limit applies. Don't try to get clever and use your 9mm rifles as an excuse to have extended Glock mags. Now, can someone comment and explain why these laws are so terrible? And what is an assault pistol? Comment below. Would you ever live in a state with laws this strict, or would you pack up and leave? And those who are there, what do you think? Chapter 5. Hawaii Red Flag Law. Hawaii has an aggressive red flag law, formerly called Gun Violence Protective Order, GVPO. This law allows a judge to temporarily prohibit an individual from purchasing or possessing firearms if there is evidence they pose a significant danger to themselves or others. The list of who can petition the court for a GVPO is unusually broad, including law enforcement, family, household members, healthcare professionals, educators, and even co-workers. While due process protections are included, the subject of the order is entitled to a prompt hearing. The order immediately requires the surrender of all firearms and ammunition for up to 1 year if granted. What do you guys think? Comment down below. And if you find any of this insane, give me a 2A in the comments also. Chapter 6. Legal challenges and the future of Hawaii. Because of the concerns, Hawaii's gun laws face numerous legal challenges. While a federal court initially blocked parts of the state's new carry restrictions, the Ninth Circuit Courts of Appeals has since reinstated many of Act 52's sensitive places and the controversial private property rule. In a separate but related matter, the Hawaii Supreme Court controversially ruled in early 2024 that the state's own constitution does not protect an individual right to carry a gun in public, only a collective right for the militia. While this ruling does not overturn the U.S. Supreme Court's Second Amendment precedent, it clearly demonstrates the state's fierce resistance to expanding gun rights, since their definition of a militia is a collective and not an individual right to self-defense. Now, the spirit of aloha may clash with the federally protected right to bear arms, but the Second Amendment is the supreme law of the land. If you found this video informative, give it a like and subscribe. For concealed carry shorts and sweatpants, hit the links below that take you to Relax Fit Tactical. Thanks for watching, and as they say in Hawaii, mahalo and stay informed. Don't be lame, subscribe.